Whoa, the media won't discuss it? Let's discuss it. Hey, it's Dominic DeAngelo of Brass Ring Media, and today's date is July 14th, 2025. It is the Daily Wrestling Hotline. It's been very much a weekly wrestling hotline, but let's try to get back on track with this Monday. Following a big wrestling weekend here, we had the Evolution, which I think I'll talk about more on tomorrow's hotline. That was the show of the weekend for me. I said earlier on that they could steal the weekend. I think they did steal the weekend. But not only did we have Evolution, we had AEW All In, which we're going to talk about in a certain context here right now. And then we also had Saturday Night's Main Event, which I also liked. I liked everything. I liked everything this wrestling weekend, except the sad news of Adam Cole and him dealing with another concussion, not knowing his future, and even considering maybe retiring from in-ring action. It's unfortunate. It sucks. Adam Cole is one of the nicest people in pro wrestling. And man, what a hot act he was in NXT. And you just thought, what's more coming for him? There's so much more coming for him. He's going to be the next big star because he's great on the mic. He's got a good look. He can wrestle. His just physical structure did not line up with a lot of wrestlers. And obviously Vince thought that to be a factor. And he went to AEW. And I was there at, was it All Out? Yeah, All Out 2021? Is that right? Well, it was a big night because CM Punk got his first win in AEW, his first match. Bryan Danielson showed up and Adam Cole showed up. It was huge. It felt like a big deal, and it felt like a little bit of the change of the guard. So, and really, I was excited for Adam Cole. I thought it was going to be great, and I was looking forward to him being in the world title picture and being in all these big-time feuds. And to an extent, we got some of it. But we certainly didn't get enough of it. And injury after injury came. And just the sad concussion situation that he went on through that put him out for, I think it was nearly a year. And, and how emotional that time was for him. And then, relationships come and go. But, his relationship with Britt Baker amicably ended. And, he was just kind of there, and he wasn't utilized to the most that he should have been. He felt like an afterthought, and was, and at some point he won that TNT championship, and then he was just regulated to Collision a lot of the times, and then here, All In, he's gonna have a match with Kyle Fletcher, and he can't, and that's because on Collision he got hurt by Kyle Fletcher. And it was like a month and a half ago, a couple months ago, when he got buckle bombed by Kyle Fletcher onto the apron, or not buckle bombed, apron bombed, and it looked really dangerous and looked really scary. And it's just like you're thinking about his well-being and what he's already gone through, and it's like, why have that situation happen? It didn't line up, and it shouldn't line up. Like, you should protect Adam Cole at all costs when it comes to that. And, and then here, I got to see that clip where Fletcher injured Cole, and it looked nasty. And it was, and, wrestling, the cliche is, but it's a true, is it ain't ballet, but there's still, you got to make accommodations. You got to be considerate for your other in-ring competitor. And I know this is somebody who's never performed in the ring saying this, so I do not know all the ins and outs of, hey, people get licked sometimes. Like, it happens. And I know that happened at indie shows that I've been a part of, and I've seen it firsthand with my brother, who's just starting out into wrestling. Like, he got a severe clothesline, and I was like, that did not look like Marcus like that. And he didn't. He got hurt. And it's just so, but somebody like Adam Cole You know his history. You're aware of the concussions. You should be concerned in accommodating. And like part of the purpose of having this company is having these stars and making them feel like a big deal. Well, you can't do that if they're hurt. And you can't do that if you're not looking out for their better well-being. I love AEW. I love that there's another wrestling company. And I used to be really excited for what AEW was and all the potential that it had and all the stars that they were bringing in and somewhat what it appeared to be creating. But there is this thing where there's not checks to balances about what happens in that ring sometimes, a lot of the times. And you get these injuries. And somebody like Cole should not have to go through that. And it's a shame that happened to somebody like that, where he's a he was positioned to be a big value star. His ceiling felt basically limitless in a lot of ways. And then everything comes crashing down to earth. Now, I'm bringing up this certain post by Disco Inferno, who just happened to post this not too long ago. And really, I was going to talk about Cole today on the hotline, but this really inspired me even more to talk about it. So let's pop this up here. See if I can do it right. Boom. Okay, that's just all of it here. So let's see if I can bring it up to my window here so I can read it because my vision's horrible. Disco, initially, this is what he said initially. I don't follow the product with passion, so my question is, did AEW acknowledge whether or not Adam Cole suffered a concussion on the buckle bomb with Kyle Fletcher? Did any wrestling media acknowledge this? Did he submit to the concussion protocol? What was the result? And then somebody said he didn't get hurt on the buckle bomb. He got hurt on a lariat on Thursday he took from Kyle. And then Disco added, you're reiterating my point, and you don't even realize it. Let me repeat. You are making my point, and you do not even realize it. Use logic. So he's saying that like people didn't like go through the basics of this. Like, AEW did not provide what exactly happened and to everything like that when it comes to that. And so then Disco followed up with another tweet. Imagine wrestling in a company and you have well-documented concussion history and wrestlers don't give a F and beat the piss out of you and you just let them and you get injured again. So stupid. Wrestling media won't discuss this. Well, here I am. I'm discussing it. And yeah, I mean, like, there should be this extent to, AEW looking out for the wrestlers. I mean, I think this is really, really important. And, people get hurt. It's wrestling. It does happen. Concussions will happen. But if you have somebody in the ring that has an issue, that has had issues with concussions before, has a history that is concerning, you make accommodations for them. And that falls on everybody. And it falls on Kyle Fletcher. It falls on Tony Khan and AEW as a whole. And, you put your trust into somebody to take care of you in the ring. And it's a shame that is not happening. And it's really sad and infuriating. I think about Adam Cole. I think about Bryan Danielson. And like, I still am a huge Bryan Danielson fan. I've been a fan since I didn't know. I'll be honest, I wasn't familiar with his work in ROH or anything like that, but I heard about it and I heard how big of a deal he was. And so when he came into the WWE ecoscape, even as NXT rookie, quote unquote, and doing all that stuff and joining Nexus, he was an immediate favorite of mine. And so I always rooted for him after that. And like, I loved the whole progression and the fan base going organically for him. And, when he ended up getting these injuries and he had to end his career, what it seemed like, it was really sad. And it was really uplifting when he did return. But at the same time, too, always in the back of my head, I'm thinking, I hope he takes care of himself and I hope he looks out for stuff. And then he'll be doing stuff in AEW that's really high risk and really, really scary. And then they play up his head injuries and his neck injuries and all that stuff that is not what really attaches me to wrestling. I want to be disassociated with people getting hurt and concerned for their actual well-being. I want to play along with the story. I want to ride along with the story, root for a Bryan Danielson against the Young Bucks. I'm just throwing a heel name out there. Or root for, an Adam Cole when he's going up against an MJF and not think a second about his well-being. That I want to make sure that he's okay. I want to, I don't want that lurking in the back of my head when I'm watching. And it's sad because it happens a lot in AEW, and it's something that's got to change. It is. So when it comes down to Cole and his future, I hope he's able to do what he wants to do. If he wants to get back into wrestling and actually wrestle, I hope he gets cleared and is safely cleared to get back in the ring and can do it. What I would like to see is him being utilized in a great, great way, even if it's not in the ring. Young Bucks just lost their EVP titles. What if you just completely inserted Adam Cole into that role as your new EVP? And he's the main guy, and he is the stop and end point. Tony Khan can take a back seat, literally, in Gorilla, and let Adam Cole be that on-air authority figure. That's a positive authority figure that's respected. And I think you can get a lot of mileage out of that. Or put Adam Cole on commentary. He's a great talker. I think he can do a lot like that too. But when Disco tweeted about that and saying like media won't talk about it, I'm talking about it right now because it's been a concern of mine and it's been a worry for me. I don't like that stuff. I don't like it when wrestlers aren't looking out for one another. It's frustrating. And but that'll do it for me today. I think tomorrow, unless things really go crazy on Raw, I might talk about Evolution. I'm going to go into Evolution because I thought it was one of the best wrestling shows of the year. And it didn't need a lot of promotion in the grand scheme of it all. Everybody's talking about Evolution when it's all said and done. And I said that earlier on. Don't mean to Barry Horowitz myself, but I'm gonna because I said it earlier on that they would be fine and they could steal the weekend, and they did. So congrats to the women there. I'll talk about that tomorrow. If you're not familiar, go to rvdtv.com. Check it out. Rob and I put together a compilation this week. 2 classic episodes where Rob and I are talking the stretcher match between him and Sabu. We're also talking about the 1998 ECW WrestlePalooza match between him and Sabu. And in between, I put a couple of Sabu clips that I really liked in there too. So be sure to check it out. It's a great, great episode. It kind of shows you how the show started in a lot of ways. The one episode is literally episode 3 that we did together. So check it out. It's a really fun episode if you're new to the RVD, One of a Kind with RVD series. And it's one of my favorite things that I get to do. But hey, Brass Ring Media is one of the favorite things that I get to do too. Be sure to check it out. Be sure to subscribe. Become a Brass Ring Media member. You get content a little early. You get some behind the members only content. Zach Haydorn, Tyler Sage, all do a great job. Ashley Mann is on here. She does a wonderful job on the Kick Ash podcast. We also have Robert doing the Nocturnal Knockout. He takes unique perspectives and topics and covers them right before AEW Dynamite every Wednesday. So be sure to give all of them a support, and be sure to give me feedback on this. Look, I love AEW. I want all wrestling companies to succeed. I just saw what AEW could have been earlier on, and it got away from that. I think All In was a great show overall, but this was a really sad point to it all for me too at the same time. And I just wish the best to Adam Cole. Such a nice, kind, thoughtful person. And it's just a shame that it happened to somebody like him or anybody for that matter. But Adam Cole is just a really special person. I feel really bad for him. So wish all the best to him. Wish all the best to you. Thank you all for tuning in to the Brass Ring Media Daily Wrestling Hotline. And remember, call 1-900-909-9900.